Alright, this is a replay view of Position by Winter Wyvern. This is an RD2L game, so this is like a 5-on-5 coordinated match. And this is like a Crusader or something. 2200 MMR, Position 5, Winter Wyvern. So you're with like SF or something? Razor? I don't know what the lanes are, it's kind of hard to tell right now. You got 2 sentries and a ring of protection. You're probably against, like, I don't know, like Dazzle Venge or something? I don't know. I guess I could run a couple different things. I don't think I'd ever buy Ring of Protection first on Winter Wyvern. Like, going from 2 to 4 armor.
30 seconds.
Like, so your hero conceptually just doesn't trade. Like, I don't know what you're thinking here, but, like, your hero doesn't trade. Like, you hit them with Q, but you never, like, sit there and trade because you've got fucking 43 base damage. Like, you never out-trade anybody unless you're in your Arctic Burn. So, this item just doesn't make sense to me. Like, in any context. Like, I don't even care if it's part of an item that you wanted to rush. Like, I just wouldn't get this part first. I mean, presumably you're not rushing, like, Buckler or something. So, yeah, I would not buy that. I buy a lot of, like, Stick right now if you want to get another item. A Windlace if you think you need a Windlace to, like, stay away from them if they're a really dangerous combo. Like, if they're, like, a Marcy Viper and you just can't get caught or you die, like, get, like, a Windlace or something. So, yeah, you have an SF carry. This is kind of a bad lane, draft-wise. Winter Wyvern really just wants to play, like, behind whatever the core is. So, if you draft a range core with Winter Wyvern, it's just going to be a bad lane, just conceptually. Just, like, doesn't work. Like, you can't protect them, they cannot protect you. So you're flying more tangos. So you do Q. You're looking for the other guy. So that's good. You're, like, hitting both heroes with the Arctic Burn. Some damage. I try to hit a little bit more, like maybe the Venge. Like, you don't want to trade with the Dawn. Like, even when you're Q, you don't want the other people to be attacking you at the same time, you know? So you're looking for a pull. Looks like you body blocked it. It's pretty normal. But you blocked their pull, so it's not the worst thing ever. This is, like, good. Using your Q off cooldown is, like, kind of what you do. So here, you want to not sap his XP. Like, if you're running away back through the tower because Dawnbreaker's going to hit you, that's fine. But in this situation right here, your job is to, like, walk around and then, like, over here and hang out over here. Try and not let him body block again, or if he runs at you, he's going to run at you fine. But, like, kind of scout, see what's going on over here. You know, make sure you can body block if they deward your sentry. And just not be in XP range, basically. That's what you should be doing right now. Like, he should get at least 2 of these creeps. This other one's going to die, like, solo XP. And these are the opportunities where you're supposed to give solo XP. Like, you don't need to, like, not be in the lane when you're, like, laning and stuff's happening. But, like, when nothing's happening and he's solo lasting under tower, that's when you give them solo XP. So, like, you're, like, hanging around in XP range here. So, like, you kind of came over here, but you need to just, like, come over here and not be in this XP range. Unless you're, like, very specifically planning on hitting some sort of level 2 timing. And, like, being aggressive with that. It's pretty high level. But see, like, this guy, you could have, like, been over here, and when he, as soon as he drops his sentry, like, you would have seen his sentry before you saw yours, and you could have, like, killed the sentry. And you're just, like, not really, like, playing over there to, like, stop what he's gonna try and do. Okay. I don't mind the casual W. It's fine. So you're going for a pull here. Nice job. I don't think I would have queued there. Like, just because you're kind of running low on mana, and, like, it's best to hit both heroes, and, like, otherwise you're just farming this, and he's not going to, like, dive you. So, like, you didn't... I don't think you needed to, like, deter anything. So I think that was just kind of a waste. Just because you are, like, kind of running low on mana. So you bought an extra 3 tangos and, like, an extra mango right away. But, like, I don't think you need this regen, given how you're playing and given how they're playing. Like, something like a Windlace here is good, right? So the Dawn doesn't get on top of you, and so Avenge can't, like... Avenge is really slow, but, like, Avenge gets boots. She can still run you down if you don't have anything. Or even, like, a Stick. Like I said, I really like Stick. Or just, like, safer boots. Like, I'm just... You haven't used any of this extra regen that you bought. So it's like, why'd you buy it? Here again, you can give solo XP. You should be over here, scouting and seeing what's happening. Like, they're pulling, probably. They probably pulled us what happened here. You can scout that. And meanwhile, just not be in XP range. You're just, like, doing nothing here. Like, this is, like, classic AFK support. And now you, like, walk around. But, like, I think they pulled. Yeah, they pulled and, like, you just didn't see it. And then you put yourself out of position. They will try and... as Winter Wyvern, this is something teams will try and do. Like, they know you're going to try and Q and hit them. So, like, good players will, like, kind of kite it out. And you'll, like, want to chase them, right? And they'll stay at the edge of the range. And then once it's close to over, they'll, like, turn on you. And you can, like, be out of position. So look out for that. It's important to not overcommit. Like, if you're not going to get the hit off, you're not going to get the hit off. Make sure you don't get out of position for it. Okay, so you blast that wave. Yeah, you didn't have yours, so maybe you body blocked or something. Okay, so you're level 4. But yeah, this is where this is just a bad lane. Like, that's why that happened the way it did. Like, you just have a bad lane combo. It's just kind of a problem with the draft. If it was a pub and this guy just picked SF position 1 after you had picked Wyvern 5, like, that would just kind of be on him. There's like nothing you can do about it. But this is like a coordinated lineup, so like this is just a bad lane combo. Like, just straight up. Just doesn't work well together. BSJ released his video recently about, like, what makes, like, kind of a good lane combo. This is like a nice hard pull you're going for here. And now you're, like, out of regen. You somehow used all your mangoes. Going for a stack. Got some clarities, which is nice. You got boots, which I like. I like getting the ward here. Like, I really like getting a ward for your lane around this time as Wyvern. This spot is just so liable to be dewarded, though. I usually go for, like, right at the spawn box here, next to where this camp is. Like, at the edge, so you don't block it, you know? Or, like, try and get it, like, out here. This can get dewarded, too, sometimes. But, like, a good spot is, like, you can get it, like, right here. Like, south of this tree is, like, kind of high up. And a lot of times people's sentries won't scout it. Or, like, if you can, like, get into these trees and come down here and then, like, throw it right here on, like, the very, like, left side or something. That usually doesn't get dewarded because usually people's sentries are, like, over here. They might drop a sentry here, though. So, like, some, like, up here can be fine, too. Because the idea behind the ward at this point is eventually your carry's going to leave and you're going to be defending this lane solo and you want to be able to see when they, like, bring a bunch of heroes to, like, try and dive you. Like, that is what this ward is for, to me, as a Winter Wyvern Pos 5. Is, like, yes, like, it can kind of see, like, into the jungle to, like, scout for your carry. But, or even, like, up here can be okay, because then it can kind of see both things. Like, if anybody's collapsing from this way, or if anybody's, like, walking into the jungle this way. But you kind of want to see, because eventually your carry normally leaves, and then you're solo defending this tower with your Splinter Blast. And you want to see when they, like, bring a bunch of heroes to dive you. That's kind of the idea. So, I don't hate that you warded there. I just think that spot is just super liable to get dewarded. Like, people just randomly check. I think it's kind of weird here that you watch away from your pull also. Like, you should be... Like, part of why you pull as a support is to, like, get the golden XP from the pull. So, like, this is, like, your golden XP here. Like, don't, like, just run away. Like, Dawnbreaker, if this guy's good, he, like, sees what's happening here. He doesn't have mana because he's bad. But if this guy was good, he has mana, and then he just farms this whole thing while you're not here. And then this guy just got, like, a double small camp and a full wave for, like, free. It's like, why are you letting that happen? You, like, come back over here and just don't walk away in the first place. Like, you should have been kind of, like, wanting to farm that. It's kind of weird. Probably tango up sooner since you have the tangos. Use your clarity pretty fast. There you go. so this is kind of why you want the wards. You can see when they're coming. It's kind of dangerous for your character to still be here. And from the TV back. Yeah, this is a grief. This is just SF messing up. So I don't know if he's going to watch this replay review, if anybody on your team is, but like, you can't TP back into the lane where they just killed you with 3 people if you don't know that they left or not. Like, from your guys' perspective, you didn't see any of those 3 heroes anywhere else. So, like, you kind of have to assume they're still there. So you can't just TP back to your lane. You have to walk out to, like, a camp. And then if you want to go back to your lane, you just have to wait. You literally have to wait until, like, Jakiro or Avenger Dawnbreaker, like, shown in a different lane. Like, you just cannot go back to that lane until you see them somewhere else. It's just... you just have to, you just can't do that, because then you just die like this. Yeah, so they have a Jakiro, and they kind of just like, because you're SF fed twice, like ideally you defend that tower for a while. It is kind of hard. This guy probably has max liquid fire, presumably. Yeah, it's kind of hard to defend your tower against this guy, like, because the idea is, like, you bring your teammates to gank them as you're defending. It's, like, kind of what you want to do, but they kind of just, like, took it instantly. Because your SF just kind of, like, fed a second time. So you're getting some stacks, which is nice. But yeah, it's these kind of games, like, at this point, this game is kind of awkward for you, because at this phase in the game, you want to be defending your tier 1 tower. So because you already lost it, it just becomes very awkward. Part of what will make this go better and easier and not lose your tower so early is if you draft a better lane combo. Like, your lane doesn't go quite as bad, you won't be so susceptible to, like, just getting ganked once and then, like, losing your tower. So I don't really mind what you're doing. Notice this Ring of Protection did nothing for you, and you're not building into it at all, so that's just a complete waste of gold in my opinion. I don't think that helped you at all. Don't mind you getting some stacks, because your SF's going to be farming them. It's pretty nice, actually. You guys did take their bottom tier 1. So this is like kind of what you want to do, is just hang around whatever lane needs defending. So you walked over to get your mana boots, this is good. Your SF's getting ganked, this is fine. So when your tier 1 dies, or if you just don't have to beat your tier 1 top because they've stopped trying to kill it or whatever, basically your job is to, like, kind of be at whatever tower they want to, like, pressure and, like, de-push it. And if they're not pressuring, then you just kind of do what you're doing. Okay, you guys kind of collapse and they're just not respecting that you brought a bunch of heroes. That's cool. Your team's kind of griefing by sticking around. Nice curse. Nice. You do, like, Wand is good on this hero. Like, you are at fights a lot, and I don't know. I always buy Wand. I never skip it. I like to max Q. Like, 1 point in Cold Embrace is kind of enough for most of the entire early game, I find. Like, the extra heal's not that impactful. The cooldown is, like, not that impactful. And the Q just actually scales very well. Like, the cooldown scales well, the attack range scales, the slow scales, the damage scales. Like, Q scales very well. So even as support, I always am 4-4-1. Always. Got a blink queued up. What do I think about this? I usually only go blink first if they have, like, ways to, like, get on top of me to where, like, I can't be close by. Like, because you're going to be in the back no matter what if you're positioning well. But if you, like, hanging around close by, even in the back, like, still gets you going on, like, if they have Void Spirits, Embers, you know, some sort of, like, Invis pick-off, like, Nyx, anything that, like, jumps you, gets on top of you, whatever, blink can be good, because then you can play, like, further back, but then still, like, blink in to, like, get your spells off effectively. They don't really have anything that jumps you. Like, Clinks, maybe, But, like, Clinks doesn't threaten to, like, insta-gib you from invis, or, like, he catches you, you die. And there are other ways, like, other items do deal with him, like, finding you even so. So, like, what I'm thinking in this game is Force Staff plus Glimmer together are really good. Because if they ever get on top of you, you can Force Staff away from almost all of them. And, like, I feel like if you Force Staff and Glimmer yourself, or any one hero, if you use both of those abilities, like, nobody dies. Like, they can be going on anyone, and if you Glimmer them and Force Staff them out, they kind of just live, I think. You know, assuming it's not just 5 people chasing one hero down, and that's all they care about. Maybe then they still die, but, like, I really like Force Glimmer together here. That seems to be really pretty impactful for me. And if Clinks goes on you or something, you Glimmer yourself and you Force Staff away, and then all of a sudden he's not going on you, right? It kind of saves you from whatever they have. Like, if they don't have any, like, insta burst, which they don't, I kind of like these Force Glimmer items that get you away. And, like, Force gets you away from Dazzle, Poison Touch. It gets you away from Jakiro spells. It gets you away from Dawnbreaker. Like, these heroes that kind of want to, like, be chasing you and slowing you. Force just kind of gets you away from them. Like, Venge doesn't chase well. She's so slow. Clinks kind of wants to, like, set up with his, like, Skeleton Walk. Or, like, you can Force Staff out of Burning Barrage. So those are the items that I'm thinking. And I'm just thinking, like, Blink is never bad on this hero. Like, I'm never like, oh, you should not buy Blink, right? I just see a lot of value in these other items that you can get. We'll see how it plays out. That's just my thoughts. So this is kind of a bad fight for your team to be taking because your lanes suck. So here, like, just map-wise, looking at the mini-map, like, somebody needs to push up bottom. Like, before anything happens. I mean, I don't know, whatever. Apparently something's already happening. Let's go back a little bit further, because this is just bad map play from you guys. So you're kind of grouped mid and you killed them. So this is the mistake, is actually they have 4 heroes dead and nobody takes care of the map. So we talked about this in your Disruptor replay of your team just doesn't take care of the map in certain circumstances, and that's what's happening here. You have control over the mid lane, great. You're playing aggressively up here, ideal, right? Except that this can't be happening if this is what you're doing. Like, doing this is predicated on having bottom lane pushed in all the way, and, like, the ability to go kill anybody over here doing what this Clinks is trying to do. Like, that is what this posturing is, like, based off. Like, the premise of doing this is that you kill anybody who comes down here. Because if you don't, then the enemy's just, like, playing both sides of the map, getting a bunch of farm, and they can easily collapse on you from many directions. So your team is actually just playing the map poorly here.
Radiant's middle tower.
So, like, this Pudge needs to be, like, looking to clear this lane here, and it's, like, kind of too late, and you guys kind of need to back off, because now they have, like, a window as they're respawning to, like, chase you if they want. So you guys go on their Venge and kill him, but their team, like, nobody's pushing out bottom still. You see the map? Like, I'm not even looking at what your hero's looking at. I'm just looking at the map. Like, they're kind of starting to engage and fight back on you guys while bottom is not pushed in. And you have 2 heroes in the triangle. So, like, this is just poor. Like, you needed to rejoin your team sooner. Or you needed to come push this out and tell your team to, like, kind of chill, you know? Like, this Venge kind of asked to die, which is fine. Your team killed her. But they kind of needed to be, like, chilling and waiting for somebody to, like, push in bottom before they, like, go ham in a fight like this. So that's what's happening here, is you guys just aren't playing the map correctly. And yeah, you show up and die, trying to help your team, but the whole map was just not being played correctly there. So you TP mid. You guys just kind of go for a smoke to run it back. Yeah, this is nuts to me. You guys get punished for this? Kind of, yeah, you do. So, this play conceptually is not bad, you're just not setting it up. You have to set it up by pushing in bottom and mid. So, like, you have the right idea, sort of like, smoking and running bottom. Like, yes, you pushed out one wave mid, but, like, bottom is not pushed out. So the only smoke you can do from this map position is to a side lane. Like, running into their jungle is crazy dangerous. Like, either their triangle, which is dangerous for its own other reasons, but even, like, ignoring the normal reasons, like running here or running here is very dangerous in this map position because you have no information. So you need to gank a person in a side lane or gank a person in a side lane. It doesn't really matter which one, but, like, given that your side lanes are, like, given that this lane is pushed in so far, you just don't have the information to make this play that you go for here work. And plus your SF is, like, not even connecting to you. Your SF can't beat. Basically, the essence is, like, your SF just can't beat whatever's about to happen, and they can bring 5. Like, that's why this is bad. You're setting yourself up for a possible 5v4. And then you do it outside of a tower, no less. This just doesn't make sense. So hopefully you can see that. And if you want to go for this play, you just need to tell your SF to push this out to, like, here first. You know, you guys are mid, you kept it pushed out, and then you waited maybe, farmed a couple camps, pushed it out one more time while your SF was getting to here, and then you smoke down here to your SF as he's pushing it in, and you connect to your SF so that yours is 5. So if you do run into a fight, you at least have 5 heroes. So you just didn't set up this smoke right, and you get punished for it. And yeah, this max E is pretty trash. It just is. The cooldown just doesn't matter. You're really only going to get it off, like, once one important time of fight, and then otherwise you're just using it kind of, like, outside of fights. And the Q damage and range and cooldown just scale too well. Like, it's way more impactful to get 2 Arctic Burns off in a fight than it is to get 2, like, Cold Embraces, for the most part. Like, the damage from Arctic Burn is, like, crazy, not to be underestimated. So you guys just aren't really setting the map up right for your moves, is what I'm seeing here. So kind of, like, definitely going for this blink. You haven't really changed your mind. I kind of like what you're doing right now. So, like, when you're kind of in, like, split up in farm mode, your hero is good at doing what you're doing right now. And you'll see me do this a lot in my games, where I just kind of chill down here and de-push this, like, either from these trees, or you can do it from these trees, and you just push it with Splinter Blast. You don't even have to show. And your hero's really good at doing this, and that sets up, like, your team can, like, rotate down to where you are, because you'll have the lane pushed in, and sets up good fights like that. Jungling I don't really care for. I would never walk away from bottom here, given what's happening. Like, you had a teammate die, right? So you guys aren't doing anything still. Like, you were split up in farm, not doing anything. Fine. Now you have a teammate dead, so you're still not doing anything, right? You're not grouping up for a play right now, and given that you're not grouping up for a play right now, you need to stay bottom and push it out. And, like, just do it defensively from the trees. You've got a blink to get away now. Blink really enables this specific play style as well. And instead you just, like, completely back off the aggressive side of the map, give up this farm, give up this pressure that you could have put on for nothing. For nothing. Like, what are you doing? You walk mid, but, like, somebody else could have done this. And they could have done it better than you. Your hero is, like, pretty bad at, like, pushing out mid here. And you just have to do it safer. Yeah, you just get, like, max range swapped. Unfortunate. You shouldn't have left bottom in the first place. Let somebody else push out mid if you're, like, already in a great spot to, like, aggressively, like, apply this pressure. You just can't leave bottom when you're doing that. Like, you were in the perfect spot. You were in the perfect spot to do exactly what you wanted to be doing, and you just left for no reason. Like, they didn't kick you out, because usually when you leave, it's like they get really annoyed that you're doing it and they come chase you away, and then you leave, right? Or you wait for your team to connect you and you never have to leave. Your team just joins you while you're down there. So that was actually a really big mistake by you. So I need you to see that, like, what you were doing was actually really important, and given that your techies had died, there was no reason to stop doing it. So you can't just, like, stop doing it. So you guys kind of get a good fight on top of your own tower. It's cool. Some good spell usage. Got the Keen Optic, which is nice. You're going for the Shard. I like Shard too. Shard is a good item. This hero's got a lot of good item choices right now. That's part of just being a good hero in the meta, is, like, a lot of items are good for you. But I still like what I talked about earlier with the Force Glimmer. I think it just saves in a lot of these situations. Like even that swap situation, like I don't think you would have had enough money. But just say hypothetically you had a Force Glimmer in that situation. If you get a fast Glimmer on yourself before Venge Stun comes out and before Dawn stuff comes out, if you get a fast Glimmer and then they stun you or whatever while you're Glimmered, and then you force away and Q and start flying, and like Dawnbreaker's already queued and Venge is already swapped and use her stun, like you actually just get away in that scenario where they ganked you. Like assuming you get a good Glimmer off to start. They just don't do enough damage through the Glimmer to like kill you. So, that if you can like hypothetically think about it, that would have been like a good demonstration of like why those items would have been good. And yeah, so you stopped queuing up Shard and you're going for the Holy Locket. Holy Locket is a good item. I don't think it's terrible this game. I think it's decent. I just don't know if it does that much. So they have a lot of like DOT abilities. Like they're kind of wearing you down over time. Or they're like bursting with like Clink's Q. But otherwise it's like a lot of like... It's like heavy damage is just like DOT. And I find that Holy Locket just doesn't generally do a lot in those scenarios. Like Holy Locket is kind of better if they are lower damage, or like it maybe would be really good in combo with Glimmer, because if you Glimmer a teammate at Cold Embrace, it's a ton of heal, and the Glimmer like is preventing a lot of this DOT. So I don't know, we'll see how it plays out. Those are just my thoughts. Fight happening. Let's just wait. Hold on, let's just leave your positioning real quick in this fight. So you're in the back. Venge is stunning you from very far away. What is the cast range on this thing? 650. Well, I'm just gonna slow down a little bit.
Hey, we can
so you check for the ward, which is good to start the fight. So yeah, you get just stunned with this guy's walking at you. You have to like not get hit, I guess. That's part of where maxing Q will come in. You could have attacked this guy from an extra 150 range further away, and like you really just cannot. You can Q him from so far away and hit him and slow him so that he doesn't get to you. Plus you had your blink there and you didn't really dodge the stun with the blink, which would have been nice. If you're gonna buy a blink and you don't have any other defensive items, you kind of have to use blink defensively sometimes, so something to look for. And then you just basically chain die off this stun, and you curse the Dawn. But you were already like the fight basically started on top of you because you got stunned. Your team wasn't quite in position yet, so I think your positioning was just a little off there. Like you shouldn't have gotten stunned. You just needed to not get stunned there, whether you blink dodge it or whether your Q's max, so you don't have to be quite as close to begin with. It's where you kind of like messed up there. Given what happened, I don't think your curse was bad, but like it's not like the ideal scenario is like you getting gone on, right? So your team cleans up. Very important what happens here. So you two be top. I like this. I like this. You need to clean up your lanes, and Roche is very important if you're not going to just take a tower off of this. So I like what you're doing. I need you to clear one more wave. I don't know what you're thinking, but I need you to clear one more wave and then reconnect with your team so that you're with your team when they respawn. That's the key here. While they're dead, fix your lanes, then reconnect ASAP. Like, I need you to do this urgently. So let's see what you do.
Middle tower is under attack.
Hello? W this wave? Hello? Oops. So you do turn around? Yeah, so this is just the urgency I was talking about. They're respawning now. It's no. You can't keep going here. So this is what I'm talking about, right? You need to like W this wave once as you like started walking down here, and then just like blink, and like you need to be running towards your team. And if you had done that, you would be like here right now. You'd be like here. And you just see that you'd be like here. You'd almost be here. Granted, your SF appears to be, I don't know what your team is doing. They appear to be like very out of position based on the what does even happen? They're just dying to the two heroes that are alive. I don't know. I'm not going to talk about that because, you know, their fuck-ups are not your fuck-ups, but Like, you needed to be heading towards that. They would have died anyways. You wouldn't have been there quite that soon enough. But you would have almost been there, and if your teammates weren't morons, you would have been there in time for, like, something to happen, and you would have been able to participate there. So, that's that. Given that they're now dead, I think you should stay up here and, like, kind of be annoying, but not die. You can't die here. Ooh, you need to blink dodge these stuns, and that's also why you need Q maxed, so that he can't, like, get this close to you. Yeah, if your Q's maxed, this, like, goes a lot better. This extra 150 range is actually, or 250? 150. 50, 100, 150, yeah. This extra 150 range on the Arctic Burn, it's actually a lot. You just wouldn't be getting hit here by these bench stuns. Like, you just wouldn't be in range if you're queuing, because your W cast range is also crazy long, especially with this keen optic. So you just wouldn't be getting hit by these bench stuns if you maxed Q, which is, like I said earlier, you should always do, I think. Watch a little bit more. I think we've covered a lot for you guys to learn from. I'm not super concerned with what happens in the fights. I kind of want to see how you guys play the map. That seems to be your biggest, like, weakness. Your Q would be up here, by the way, again. It's like 12 seconds sooner. Or it'd be up in like 3 seconds instead of 15. Yeah, Glimmer Force Staff would have saved you there. I don't know what else to tell you. And I think itemization is hard. Like, you have to just have... Like, it's applied game knowledge, so you have to have the game knowledge to be able to think about what's good. Just think about all the times, if you watch these fights, where glimmering yourself and force staffing away saves you. It's like every time. Like, you actually don't die if you have Glimmer Force Staff. And if you're further range from begin with Arctic Burn. Like, if it was me playing this game, like, I feel like I wouldn't have died. I mean, maybe I would have died in lane ones or something, but, like, I feel like I wouldn't be dying in these fights because I'd have a Glimmer and a Force Staff. And then they just can't kill me. Alright, so you guys take a really bad fight. Like I said, I don't care too much about that. Oh, this game just kind of ends. Maybe this game just kind of ends. Oh, that'd be cool. We got through her game. Oh, they're growing. Nice chase, nice chase. Okay, so you have a chance here, and then it looks like you throw, or they throw. Maybe you win. I don't actually know who wins this game. Guess you should win here? Maybe not. They bought back. Okay, so they're roaching, so they're just gonna win. Oh, they bought back Dawn, but the Venge was like dead, but not dead. Let's see. So you didn't really have the numbers advantage. Yeah, I'm gonna stop watching here. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful, man. I think we covered a lot of good stuff. I also recently released like a video on like how to play Winter Wyvern at a high level, so that might help you a bit too. If you have questions, you can let me know. But yeah, it's a good one. Talk to you later.